Pursuant to notice, I now call up H.R. 1736, the Generative AI Terrorism Risk Assessment Act. The bill was circulated in advance and printed copies are available. The clerk shall designate.
H.R. 1736, offered by Mr. Pfluger.
Without objection, the first reading of the bill is dispensed with. It is considered read and open to amendment at any point. I now recognize myself to speak in favor of the bill. The Committee on Homeland Security, Subcommittee on Counterterrorism and Intelligence, recently held a hearing to examine how foreign terrorist organizations use the internet, online networks, and generative AI, or Gen AI, to recruit and radicalize lone wolf actors. The threat of this radicalization has grown significantly over the last decade. The committee heard testimony from police experts Dr. Aaron Zellen, Dr. David Gartenstein Ross, and Mr. Daniel Flesh on how FTOs use the internet and online networks for radicalization and recruitment. The panel of experts all agreed that FTO's use of Gen AI has the potential to impact our national security significantly. Gen AI is defined as a subset of artificial intelligence that uses generative models to produce text, images, videos, or other forms of data. FTOs use Gen AI for online radicalization by producing highly convincing videos that fabricate events and manipulate the perception of potential recruits. Known terrorist organizations such as ISIS and Al-Qaeda have gone as far as to have workshops and train members of their organizations on its use while stressing the effectiveness of the technology. It's important that DHS carry out common sense threat assessments to determine how we can better combat this issue and ultimately safeguard our homeland. One of the bills we are marking up today, H.R. 1736, is an important measure that would require the Secretary of Homeland Security to conduct annual assessments on terrorism threats to the U.S. posed by terrorist organizations like ISIS and Al-Qaeda, utilizing or attempting to utilize generative artificial intelligence applications. I think this is a common sense bill, and it's important and timely given the ISIS-inspired car ramming terror attack we had just months ago in New Orleans, with the suspect not only being an American citizen, but a former member of the military who was influenced and fell victim to online radicalization. Several days after the attack, ISIS noted in their weekly newsletters that the ISIS propaganda had inspired the attack and praised ISIS backers as critical to encouraging and promoting further terrorist attacks against America. I want to thank all my colleagues on the subcommittee for advancing this crucial piece of legislation, and I believe it reaffirms our commitment to safeguarding our country and our citizens while effectively countering the enduring and emerging threats posed by jihadi and other terrorist groups targeting our nation. Does anyone else wish to, I yield back. Does anyone else wish to speak on the bill?